Now, session 5, Articular Storyline 360 training. Let's go through. Now, just to recap, this is slides equals to the canvas, layers equals to more information, states equals to the looks of the object, and triggers equals to the action that drives your interactivity. And then you also have, oh, I have a poll question, forgot about that. Let's see, let me copy into the chat room. Now already pasted. Appreciate that you can put, not this one, sorry. Ignore this one, let me just remove it, delete. Where is that? Now, session 5, the poll question actually goes, which feature would you select in the list that is your favorite so far? Okay, quizzes, graded question and free-form question, closed captions, okay, closed captions, that means how to create the subtitles, light box, building blocks or storyline, which is slides, states, layers, and triggers, all of the above or none of the above. So we appreciate your feedback. Okay, these are some of your feedback. Quizzes, yes. Closed captions, yes. Closed captions, now sometimes when you want to do translation, okay, you can maintain the narration as English, for example, just that you put the subtitles in different languages. Okay, so this one, it actually saves effort and cost for the content development side, okay, and the maintenance as well. Okay, now when you want to record a different language, you need to vet through the language. And if, let's say, there is changes under the content side, definitely the narration need to change as well. So think about that, consider that as well. Okay, so caption side, all of it, okay, whether slides, whether audio, you can put captions for the audio and video. Okay, so this is where you can do. Now, we have done even the translation using the caption side from English to Bahasa Indonesia, English to Thai, and English to Chinese even. Okay, so we just maintain the text. They say they want to only maintain the narration as the English version. So that is fine. But for Chinese itself, they want to maintain the narration within the Chinese language. And you still have the Chinese subtitles as well. So that's where we did it differently lah. Okay, so captions is very useful, I would say. Okay, now building blocks, some of you all, actually one of you all actually put the feedback, all of the above, yes, all of the above, that means you like the closed captions, like box, okay, building blocks and quizzes. Now there are more towards the quizzes, so let's go through it right now. Now, our learning objectives for this morning is that we need to create question bank. Okay, question bank means that sometimes you got 50 questions or 100 questions, and the user only needs to answer 10 out of 100 questions. So you notice that yesterday the quizzes, you can shuffle the options. So what's the purpose of question bank? Shuffling of questions. Okay, so it's randomized one. Okay, so when users actually go through one question, the how called concurrent user, another user actually goes in, it's another question for this person. Okay, so this is how it's done lah. Even LMS also, you can create questions. Okay, so it depends on you whether you want to create questions based on the LMS or create from the content perspective. Okay, and then we want to measure performance with a result slide. Okay, now whenever you want to create question bank, okay, or create questions that want to be evaluated, you need to create a result slide. Okay, that's the must. Okay, then after that, the third one, record, insert, and fine-tune screen recordings. Now, for some of you all, you may need to actually do screen recordings, okay, in the future or right now. Okay, so basically you can record any screens, okay, that follows the mouse. Okay, so we have done some of the screen recordings in the past. Okay, I believe more or less is a system-based training. Okay, and the screen recording itself, sometimes you got view mode, that means the demonstration mode, try mode, which is the practice mode, and as well as the test mode. Test mode is assessment mode. Okay, so all these three, you can actually do it under screen recordings. Okay, then after that, we would learn how to create branch scenarios. Okay, so branch scenarios is that you need to create a simulation map itself. Okay, simulation map under the storyboard. Then once it's agreed from the subject matter experts, then only you start for constructing. Okay, now if we have time, we will want to create 360-degree images interaction. Okay, so if we only have time lah, if not, we'll push it to this afternoon. Okay, yeah, 360 is quite good. Okay, so let me tell you about it if we come to that. Okay, yeah. Now I also have some demos. Okay, these two are very interesting. Okay, this one is very interesting as well. This is like escape rooms. Then this one is for medical side. Okay, so all this is dealing with questions and some of it is interaction based. Okay, now these are some of the quizzes. Although you see that, so kiddie game, but the interesting part is you see what are the conditions that they put. Okay, so this one is different from yesterday's sample that I showed you. Once you select correct from yesterday's sample, it increases the time. Okay, once you select the wrong answer, then it maintains the time, then it counts down as well. So how did we do that? So this sample, it increases the points itself. Okay, so you can make use of all these samples. You can change the graphic, okay, and you just make use of all these samples to create your courses. Okay, and this one is 360-degree images interaction. This one, the first session I already showed you, the me and Mo one. Okay, this is another 360 images interaction, and this one is as well as 360 images interaction. Okay, so we'll deal with this later. Okay, now, oops. Now let's go back to open the storyline file, yesterday's file, because we want to create more questions inside the question bank. Okay, then later on, we'll go through the result slide itself. Okay, now question bank itself, you can also import questions from an Excel sheet. Now let me show you this. Okay, now if you want to go through, you can go through session 5. Okay, source. There is some Excel templates in there. These are all question templates. So let's say I just launch this. Okay, now you have 2 tabs there. So just move into questions first. Okay, now these are all the sample questions. Okay, now the question type, points, question text, answer choice. Now, normally you have only 10 answer choices. That means 10 acceptable answers for your question itself. Okay, and plus MC stands for multiple choice, true, false. Now all these things is MC and true, false. Points level normally is 10 points, but up to you to actually do it. Okay, customize it. This is a question. Okay, and plus answer choices. Now answer choices means that you put your acceptable answers. Okay, now the text behind the pipe sign, which is what I highlight. Okay, now what is the pipe sign? The pipe sign is just one straight line over here. Okay, it's right above your enter key. Okay, I'm not sure about MacBook, whether you have the pipe sign. Okay, now after the enter key, these are all the feedback behind the pipe sign. Now before the pipe sign, this one is your answer. Okay, acceptable answer. Now, if this one is the correct answer, you just indicate with an asterisk. Okay, so now this is very good. Okay, this Excel sheet is very good in a sense that you can provide this Excel sheet to your subject matter experts to contribute the quizzes to you. And then after that, you can just directly import into it, import into Storyline. So it saves you the hassle. Okay. Now, let's try to import all this. Now, basically, you don't add any columns. You don't change the text above the first row as well, because these are macros that Articulate Storyline can detect. Okay, so you don't change the words on the first row, you don't add any columns, but you can add whatever rows below lah. Okay, so just remember this, these are all references to you. Okay, so let's close it. I will want to import. Now, how to know whether MC or TF stands for what? You can go through the instructions. Okay, instructions tab. Okay, and TF, all these things is actually written there, including the survey questions. Okay, now if you want to read more, there is a link here that you can click. Okay, so these are from the community itself. Okay, now let me close, don't save. Now we want to import this particular Excel into Storyline. So how do we begin? We go to File, okay, Import, then we go to questions from file. Okay, not PowerPoint, okay, questions from file. Okay, and after that, you go into session 5, source, then you select Excel import template. Okay, and then you click open. Now, this one may take some time for you all. Okay, so do this. Okay, now, once you import, okay, you have one dialog box that shows import, okay, question and points level. Now, you have also select all or none at the top right corner. So none means that you don't want to select, then you choose certain questions that you want to put into Storyline. So I choose all, select all, okay, into a new scene. The scene name, I leave it by default. Okay, start to import, okay. Then once you import, it will take some time. So with the template, it knows what kind of template it is and whether it's MC, multiple choice, true, false, or multiple response for you. Once you have it, okay, you put a thumbs up so that I'll know that I can continue. Okay, Casey
Elena,
is done.
sorry, can you repeat the first step again?
You go to File, Import, okay, questions from File. So once you click, go to the directory of session 5, source, Excel import template. Then you click open. Then select all the questions and click import. Okay, I believe everyone is done already. Okay, so now once you import, you have this question that is submit multiple choice. Then the layers are created. This one is feedback by choice. Okay, that's where text wildcard date is coming out. Then score by question, that means you only have one attempt. Now, after you have imported from Excel, you start to customize it based on your needs lah. Okay, so the question, the feedback also you can customize up to you, but we wouldn't do this right now. Okay, because basically we have trained you how to do it. Okay, now for this, right now you want, because for question bank you need more questions. Let's move on into the question bank right now. Okay, so all of it is working already. Okay, now the difference between import from Excel and import from PowerPoint. Import from Excel, it does not create an additional trigger. Okay, import from PowerPoint, it creates an additional trigger, okay, which is jump to next slide upon timeline ends. Okay, so that's the difference. So that's where we need to remove that trigger for PowerPoint side. Okay, I hope you all recall how to remove. Just go into the story view, highlight all the slides that you want to remove, and go to the slide properties. Under slide advances, choose user. That means you need the user to interact with it. Okay, not advancing automatically. Okay, now from here you have two different quizzes, which is content source and Excel import template. Okay, so right now we'll begin with the question bank. Okay, now, save your file first. Let me save it. Now, although Storyline has auto recovery, okay? Now, auto recovery means that you need to save one time of the file first. Then only it can auto recover, okay? So you can set how long does it auto recover for you as well. Once you go into file, Storyline options, auto recovery information every 10 minutes. You can set it to every 5 minutes, your choice. Okay, so these are the things that you can preset before you begin your Storyline project. Okay, now let's start question bank. Now, question bank is best to start from story view. It has several steps, mainly 3 different steps. First step is to create your question bank. Okay, then second step, populate your questions inside the question bank. And then third step, how to display. Okay, display for your learners to view it. Okay, so first step is create question bank. Your question bank is empty. Okay, second step, populate your questions inside the question bank. And third step, display for your learners to view. Okay, to attempt the questions itself. So best to start off under the story view. Okay, now do you see under home tab, you have question banks there. Under slides also, you have question banks there. No matter what, just click on the drop down. Okay, then after that, you got new draw from question bank 1, create question bank, and manage question bank. So since this is our first time, we first create question bank. Okay, now once you create question bank, it wants you to rename your question bank. So I put in QB1. Okay, short form for question bank lah. Okay, and I click OK. Okay, so it's totally empty. So now the icon is very different from 5.1 for the slide. Okay, so this one has, because it's overlapping with different slides one. Yes, so that is question bank. Okay, now the first thing that you see is no questions at the first graded or survey questions or import questions already in this project. So you can actually create your question. Let's say once you click under graded, same thing from yesterday. Okay, so yesterday you have learned how to create manually under the question by question base. Survey questions, the same thing, or import questions. That means you want to import into question bank. Now look at the top of the ribbon. Okay, now whether you click here or here is the same thing. So these two, you know that is the same thing. Now new slide. Sometimes you want to create a new slide for your questions itself. What is a new slide for? Okay, now the new slide is sometimes you need to actually train your learners in a sense that you need to teach them that says you have 20 questions to attempt. How long does it have? 40 minutes. Then click start to begin. That's your new slide. Okay, so all those things you need to know. So basic layouts, you can add any slides for it. Okay, now, and then you have also import questions. Now, import questions, that means you can import from Excel, import from PowerPoint, all those things. But mainly is import from Excel. Okay, now if you want the Word document, let's say your subject matter expert is so naughty, okay, that they only created questions in a Word format. So what to do? You cannot question the subject matter experts. So that's where you copy and paste. You cannot import from Word format. Okay. Now, question bank side. This one, once you put in the questions, you can manage question bank. Okay. So this is question banks. Now, the easiest part is to import. Since I already import from Excel. So right now I proceed to import into my question bank itself. So this is the second step. Okay, so import questions. Then after that, import from story or question bank. Now, what's the difference? Okay, now story means is within this storyline file. That means this storyline file 2022-0214. Okay, if you want to import question banks, okay, now question banks may reside in other storyline files. Okay, so you can create one storyline file that have all the different courses of your question bank also can. Okay, so some people I've actually how I call train them is that they ask me how to manage the questions inside question banks. So you have different ways depending on the content side of things. So we manage it for different customers, definitely one file. Okay, and plus for you, I would say that try to maintain as one content, one file. Okay, like AMLA, one file of the question bank. Then BCM is another file for that, business continuity management. Okay, so we maintain in different files so that it's easier to open. Maintenance is easier as well. Okay, now, so let's say I've already imported the Excel into Story. Okay, so I choose Story. Copy questions into question bank or move questions into question bank. Okay, now this one, it depends on you as well, whether you prefer to copy or move it. Move means that cut and paste, cut from the slide and move it into the question bank. If you copy, maintains two different sets. Okay, one is a slide base, another one is a question bank base. Okay, so now I prefer to copy. Why do I say that? Okay, now let me tell you, not to say a joke. Okay, I believe Shaira and Lisa already may know this. Okay, but the rest of you all, you may not know this. Okay, have you heard the term of called kiasu? Okay, have you heard the term called kiasu?
Yes.
Lisa? Yes.
Yes, yes.
Shaira, have you heard of it?
Yes, very much.
Okay, now kiasu means that scared to lose. Okay, kia, scared. Su means lose. Scared to lose lah. Okay, now why we are scared to lose as a vendor? We are scared to lose the content. Okay, once we actually move it, that means we lose the content under the slide. What if customer wants to change it? After several changes, let's say after 5 changes, 6 changes, then go back to the original. Okay, so that is why we keep different versions of the file itself. Like right now, the content team, every review is one version of the file. So they have many versions, you know. Okay, and then once project delivered, they only keep the first version, okay, the middle version, as well as the last version of it. Okay, so that you don't keep all the files. Okay, now, of course, you have 3 different terms of kia, okay, which is scared. Okay, in Singapore, especially Singapore, okay, I call it kiasu, the first term, scared to lose. Okay, and then kiasi, okay, scared to die. Okay, and then also there's a third term which is called kiabo. Do you all know what is kiabo? Scared of wife. Okay, now scared of wife means that the husbands are scared of wife or the boyfriends are scared of the girlfriends. That is Singapore terms to you. Now, all this kia is definitely Hokkien. Okay, it's a Chinese dialect. Now, we have lost BREC. I think connection issue. So now, it depends on you whether you want to move or copy. Okay, now, once you want to copy, that means I just want to copy. You select the questions that you want to copy. Okay, don't select all. You select only content source, which is the question. So I just include all and include all for Excel import template, content source as well. I don't include my lessons, the lesson slides. I only include question slides itself. Okay, and then I click OK. Okay. So do this because sometimes for your PC, it may take some time. Okay. Let me give you a few moments. Okay. Now, once you populate your questions inside the question bank, you can know that several questions, then what are the attempts, what are the points that you actually award. Okay, so all these questions is in there. So take a look the number of questions that I have, which is 22 questions. Okay, you may have more. Okay, so now if you want to edit the questions, okay, you can just double click. Okay, you see that under scenes here at the top left corner is called QB1. That means you are changing the questions within question bank 1. Okay, now it does not link with the slide question upon you change. Okay, so this one you can change it. This one I don't go through. Then go back to QB1. Okay, now once you select one question, check on the above. What are the functions there? So if you select one question, you can click under edit questions also, same thing, okay, or double click, okay. If you want to delete question, I just press the delete button inside the keyboard, okay. Now, if you need to move the questions, definitely I just drag and drop. So let's say this question, I drag it over here, okay. But since this is randomized, okay, randomized questions, I don't need to move it, okay. Now, if you want to log the question, okay, log means that you want to log 2 questions, okay. Now, say for example, these 2 questions are linked. Link means that sometimes you have case scenario that you have 3 questions going on. Case scenarios, let's say a short paragraph, what are the impacts of this? Then you answer. Then second questions, what are the lessons learned? Okay, and third questions is what are the factors that involve something like that. Okay, so this one you can link it. So log questions to question above, to question below, to top of group, to bottom of group, to remove log even. So of course, I want to link it to question below. If not mistaken, yeah, to question above. See, the clip is actually appearing already. So I'm linking 3 different questions. Okay, now whenever the randomize actually is working, okay, so if let's say randomize actually calls 6 question, the 6th question, so the next question it will come out is question 7. The next question that it will come out is the 8th question. Okay, now say for example, if you have 5 questions out of 22 questions to answer, okay, so normally once you select the individual questions, definitely is 5 questions. But however, if you selected the 6th question, or the 7th question, or the 8th question, okay, now if you select the 7th question, means that I need to answer additional 2 more questions. Okay, so this is how the log means. Okay, any questions coming from the floor? Nana. Okay, now then after that, let me close this. Now we have done 2 different steps, okay, which is create question bank. Second, we populated the questions inside the question bank already. And the third step. Now, do you notice that inside your story view, there's nothing on question bank? Okay, do you realize that? So the third step is how to make a slide, okay, or make a display, okay, for the learners to attempt your question bank. Okay, so this is one thing that we want to create. So best to go back to story view, question banks, okay, and right now you click under new draw from question bank. Okay, now after you have populated ONIA, now let's click on new draw. So a dialog box will be out. Okay, so you select based on the drop down. That means I populated my questions inside QB1. So I select QB1. Then after that, draw questions randomly. Okay, and include, I just want to include 5, okay, out of 22 questions. Now, furthermore, there is include in shuffle, randomly, never, always. What is all this? Okay, now randomly means that randomized questions. Okay, so not always that is the same question that it will appear for the different users. Okay, now never and always, what does it mean? Never means that it's never occurring inside the randomized, or it will never appear inside this question deck. Okay, so you do not want to include this question. Okay, now always means that mandatory questions to be answered. Okay, mandatory questions. So these are the groupings that you can set. Okay, so whether it's always, that means mandatory questions for learners to answer, and never means that maybe this question is not right for this juncture. Okay, only the second level of the users, then only I put in this. So you can actually do that. Okay, so never means that you do not want to include. Okay, so all those things you can actually put that. Now, then furthermore, you have log question, the same thing, move questions, also the same thing. So I have three questions which is logged. Okay, now after which I just click insert. So once I click insert, now how does the question bank look like? It's looking something like this icon. Okay, now in order to make it look better, okay, so I include a new scene so that only question banks and a result slide. Okay, so how to create a new scene? I just right click under the gray area, then I click on new scene. Now under the new scene here, I just rename QB1, and then I just drag this question bank into the new scene. Then I remove the empty slide. Okay. Now, after you have done this, okay, how to edit the question bank? Okay, let's say you got maintenance. Okay, so you just double click, go in. This one is 5 questions, and you double click again. Then make sure that you are doing inside the question bank. Now, once you click under the drop down, you know that all these are content slides and your practice slides or quizzes. This one is only the question bank. Okay, you can navigate through here as well. Okay, now any questions coming from the floor? Nana. Okay, now brace yourself. Now, to recap for question banks. Now, sometimes you want to organize your questions. Okay, let me tell you something. Now, organizing your questions is difficult. Now, let me tell you one scenario. Like, for instance, one of the customer actually is reviewing. Okay, now what you need the customer to pass to you, or your subject matter experts to pass to you. Okay, when they say question 5 is wrong, they only say to you via WhatsApp or anything, which question is it? Because question bank is randomized. How would you know question 5 is which one? Okay, so this is the thing that you require the screenshot from the user itself, okay, from the subject matter expert. So it's best to get the screenshot, okay, from the customer or from your users itself, so that you can determine, or is inside the question bank, okay, and then you can make the changes. Okay, so this is important. Now, the second thing that I want to advise you all, how to organize. Okay, now usually if you have mandatory questions to be answered, and some of it is randomized, some of it is mandatory. Okay, so I will group it differently. Some of the questions, then I group it inside mandatory as one question bank. Okay, another question bank that I have is all randomized. Okay, so this is how I group it. Okay, then after which I can just easily maintain, okay, based on, let's say, AMLA. Okay, now the next thing, how to organize as well, the second option that you may have is like, if you have module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4. Okay, so module 1 itself, let's say I got mandatory questions. All your mandatory questions for module 1 will go in there, and then randomized questions, the next question bank. And then after that, I got module 2 also, it's only randomized. All these are question banks that links to one another. Okay, and then finally, you only have the result slide that can track all of your question banks itself. Okay, so this is sometimes how to organize the question banks itself. Okay, So any questions coming from the floor or any concerns? Nana?
Elena
Yeah.
is not concerned, but actually, I cannot type any comment in message because
Yeah.
it said you can't send message because you are not a member of the chat.
Ah, okay. Oh, is it? Yeah. So I'm not sure. Yeah. Sadara and Virek is not a member. So can you say out? No comments.
Yeah, I cannot tie anything on it.
Okay. So it depends on how you want to structure your questions lah. Okay. Once you have a question, okay, it may come from your banking content. So best to create question bank, how to organize your question banks even. Okay. Sometimes people may say that, oh, this one is only for module 1. I want module 1 to have only 5 questions. I want module 2 to only have 3 questions. And I want module 4 to have only 8 questions. So how do you tie that? So this is how you can create multiple question banks. Okay, because if you only create one question bank itself, you do not know how it's segregated for the questions. Sometimes, although your module 2, you only want 3 questions, but it came out 5 questions for you. So this is how to organize it. Okay. Yeah. So I hope that most of the scenarios is actually attended already. Okay. If you have any scenarios, bring all out. Okay. Any concerns as well. Okay. Now, right now we move into result slide. Okay, result slide based on the questions that you have created. Now, click under the question bank. Okay, and then we move on into result. So that's where you move into slides. Okay, then you can click under results. Okay. Now, one thing for sure, you have graded results slide, survey results slide, blank results slide. Okay, now of course you have different templates from the content library. Okay, so all these templates are for you. Now, most of the time we follow, not to say we follow, we use the templates. Okay, and then we customize certain things like for the banking, which is red color, we like to use this one. Okay, bank, or let's say for companies, which is blue color, we like to use this one. And for certain things, certain occasions, we like to use this blue color with the character, and then we customize the character into something else. Okay, so all these things, it actually allows you to do that. Even green color also, we use it for greenery kind of companies lah. Okay, now, so for the first time, we will create graded results slide. Now it's different from survey results slide. Okay, survey results slide just capture whatever feedback that you have, and you need to generate a report from your LMS. Okay, only LMS can generate a report. So now, normally we do not use the survey from Articulate itself. Normally, once you want to actually capture the responses from your learners, we actually want you to create from your LMS itself. Why we need you to do that? Okay, because the survey from Articulate is that it only complies to certain LMSs. Okay, so that's where your LMS is unable to capture the feedback from the learners. Okay, sometimes it's unable to actually generate a report as well. So it's best to make use of your LMS survey. Okay, now your LMS survey most likely is also quizzes that you select certain questions to be in. Okay, so all these things it actually permits you to do. And sometimes we also use the Google form, okay, job form or any online forms that we have. How to include those job forms or Google forms? We just include a web object, put the link there. Okay, and then we are able to monitor or track based on the database under Google or job forms, or sometimes you want to make use of Microsoft Forms as well. Okay, depending on the customers lah. Okay, now, so blank results slide, sometimes you just want to track the completion, okay, completion of the certain slide. So that's where you want to put a blank result slide. Now, normally we do not make use of blank result slide. Sometimes you need to save proof your content. Save proof your content as a backup. Okay, that means if let's say this one does, the first option does not check, then this blank result slide can actually save proof it. That's a backup plan. Okay, it's up to you. Okay, now graded result slide that we choose, then we click insert slide. Okay, now it's right after the question bank. And once you select a result slide, it comes out this segment. Now, this segment itself, Articulate has actually enhanced this further since how call middle of last year only. Okay, sometime in June or July, if not mistaken. Okay, they have enhanced this, and right now you can track different things. Okay, now, so first one, final assessment there, pre-check, knowledge check, or final assessment. Okay, what are all these? Okay, now the easiest one is knowledge check. Sometimes for your content, you have teaser questions right at the beginning. Okay, teaser questions, that means it is not evaluated based on the results. Okay, teaser questions means that sometimes you just want to check their understanding, the learner's understanding, or the learner's skill set. Okay, what do they think? And then proceed with the lesson. Okay, that is knowledge check. Now, knowledge check can be also practice questions as well. Practice questions, most of the time, is not evaluated. Okay, once I say evaluated, that means it's trackable. Okay, now pre-check questions means what? Now, pre-check questions, if you are creating content not meant for first-time learners, what do I mean by that? Okay, now if you have a refresher course, okay, let's say for AMLA, okay, AMLA, first time launching, I definitely cater for the masses. Okay, let's say you have 10,000 employees, 10,000 people will actually go through it. Okay, first time launching. Now, following year, every year also you need to go through the AMLA, am I right? Okay, so that's where following year, you do not want to go through the AMLA, which is 1 hour long. So you put a pre-check question, okay, for your maintenance of your content. Now, for this, definitely is another course that you need to enroll existing users. Let's say 9,500 users will go in. Okay, so 9,500 will go in, then they learn the pre-check. Now, once the pre-check, sometimes how you can construct the pre-check is that I put the questions there, I put certain lessons in there, the new lessons that is add in, okay? And then I have a completion rate. That means based on the, what you call the questions that it marks as completed. That's it. Or you can put in what are the lessons first, the add-on lessons or the recap of the lessons, then only the questions will come out. Your choice. Okay, so this is the pre-check. Now, how it works is that once the pre-check is passed, okay, they do not need to go through the traditional lesson of 1 hour. Okay, they do not need to go through as long as it passes. Okay, you can set that. Okay, now, if they fail, okay, if they fail, then they need to go through the lessons of 1 hour long. Okay, then 1 hour long also you have another assessment. Only if they pass the assessment, then only is considered pass. That is the tracking under Articulate. Okay, now this one is also relating to the publishing side. Okay, so just recall that pre-check has LMS checking, final assessment has LMS checking as well. The only thing that does not have LMS checking is knowledge check. Okay, that let's say I do not put a result slide in, so that means I can just ignore. Okay, yeah, so any questions coming from the floor for that? Nana? Okay, great. Okay, so normally for the first time lessons, okay, we normally just put final assessment unless you ask the learners that, oh, I just need to create a refresher course. That's where you need to change this final assessment to pre-check and see whether the users have any additional content to be added in or changes of the content to be added in. Okay, and it depends on how you structure the content as well. Okay, now calculate results for questions or result slides. So now, why do you have questions or results slide? Okay, now questions means that you can select whatever questions that is evaluated. That means it adds on the points into your result slide. Now, why result slides is also there? Now, basically, you have module 1, module 2, module 3. Module 1, you got assessment. Module 2 also you got assessment. Module 3 also got assessment. All within one storyline file. Okay, now your assessment individually, you need to create result slides because you want to track also. Okay, result slide for module 1, result slide for module 2, result slide for module 3. So now, basically, you need a total result slide towards the end. What is the total? Meaning that it sums up all the result slide, okay, and then it averages. Okay, so all these things you do not need to take care, mathematical. Okay, so all those things is taken care by Articulate already. Okay, so sometimes you need to track the individual result slide. Sometimes you need to check only the total, your choice. Okay, so this is how you can track it. So since this is our first time, we actually click on questions. Okay, now quiz timer, you can set how much time does the person need to actually attempt the questions. Then the last object, which is the how called a timer there, which is a small little icon that is a drop down. Click under the drop down. You have with first question, with first slide, start timer, display of the timer itself do not show time, remaining, elapsed out of total or elapsed. Okay, normally we show remaining time that they have, and normally we only go through start timer with the first question itself. Okay, now why we don't choose with first slide? First slide means that your lesson also goes in. So meaning it's more than 1 hour or more than 2 hours of the lesson. Now, certain people, you actually determine, okay, that some people are fast learners, some people are slower learners. Okay, so this is hard to actually gauge. So normally, we only start with first question that they need to attempt. So that's where, if you want to judge, like how long this person actually goes, okay, need to learn this content, you actually estimate. Okay, let's say this course is around 40 minutes long. Based on the slides that you have generated, based on the narration, and based on the duration of per slide. Okay, so all these things is generated based on, let's say, 40 minutes. Then the question is additional 20 minutes long. Okay, so all these things you need to consider as well. We don't judge by how long does this user actually is going through. Your LMS will come out for that. Okay, now, so these settings that we do, and then at the bottom, you have passing score, okay, which is 80 marks. Then only score viewed questions. That means whatever questions that you view, then only it will be calculated. Your choice. If you don't check on it, that means it will calculate all of the questions whether you view or not. Because randomized questions means that you actually calculate also the 22 questions. That means Articulate does an additional calculation for you. So all these things you need to take care as well. Now, normally I just make a check so that whatever questions that are put inside the question bank, I'll only score the viewed questions. Okay, only want to calculate the viewed questions so that it's easier to generate. Okay, then after that, I just click OK. Okay, so now any questions coming from the floor for this part? Any concerns, any feedback, comments? None. Okay, so then after that, I just click OK. Okay, now for this, let me just expand it. Now, this is variables. Okay, now when you create a result slide, you have 4 different variables in one set. Okay, now variables means that you can reference out. This is how to reference. This is one set. This is another set. This is one set as well, sorry, and this is another set. So there are 4 different variables inside the result slide. Okay, so now, so this is the introduction of variables. Yeah. Now, result slide itself, the triggers are already done for you. Okay, so show layer success when the timeline starts if the score points is more than the result pass points. Okay, so all these things is already created, and you submit results when the timeline starts. Okay, submit results, that means you have a lot of programming language in there to submit the results into your LMS. Okay, then button 1, review results. Now button 1, review results, which is this button. Okay, now you also have success layer. Okay, success layer, that means it's called congratulations, you have passed, and failure, you did not pass. Okay, now furthermore, you have under result slides above result tools design. Let's go into result tools design. Okay, now user score, passing score, review button, all this is already in there. Okay, if you need the user score, definitely is the variables that you want to present. Okay, review button is already here. Let's put on the print button and retry button. Okay, so you need to draw on your slide, then result tools, retry button as well. Okay, something like this. Now, once you create from here, okay, you select this, automatically it will come out your triggers for you. If you actually come in here, button, you need to select your own trigger. Okay, now triggers, sometimes you can customize the triggers to your needs as well. Okay, now then basically result tools, all these things, definitely I've gone through it. Okay, timer options, this one you know already. Passing score, final assessment, knowledge check or pre-check. That's where under here you have LMS track, which is pre-check and final assessment. Now LMS, LRS tracking. Now what is LRS? LMS, I believe most of you all know already, Learning Management System. LRS stands for Learning Record Store. Okay, now treat it like a separate database. Now, there are different LMSs out there. Okay, LMS, do you know what is LXP? Okay, Learning Experience Platform. Now, LXP is a subset of LMS as well. Okay, the database side definitely is linked. Two different things. LXP actually is catching on your experience of your learning, like Netflix, okay, like Facebook as well. Whenever you search for certain things, those searchable things is actually up, it will come out the next day for you. Okay, Netflix also is based on what you normally search. Then it comes out or recommended movies or recommended TV dramas for you. Okay, so this is the experience platform, okay, that it has, okay, based on your searches or based on your enrollment. LMS is only tracking based on what you upload, the results, everything is actually controlled. Okay, now once you put that in together, you have a subset. Okay, now the database definitely is linked. Now LRS, what is that? LRS is another subset of LMS as well as LXP. Okay, now some of the LMS have already LRS, but some of the LMS does not have any LRS. Okay, now why does it subset? It's a separate database. You can actually manually, okay, meaning that you want to put certain scripts to actually control the lessons to be completed, whether it's experience, whether certain content slides are actually completed also. You can track via slides as well. So that is LRS. Okay, so everything could be a subset. So now this one depends on the LMS that you choose. Okay, and whether the LMS administrator, the vendor side, has switched on for you all. So you all need to check that. Now, SCORM compliant itself, normally we just ignore the LRS. Okay, SCORM definitely we ignore because normally we just go through the LMS side. Now, if you choose to, to showcase this, no problem. Okay, no problem at all. Okay, that means you just want another database to capture whatever completion status of different slides, of different quizzes, or different the last slide even as the completed states. Okay, so all those things it captures. Now, this part of things I would go through during the publishing, which is this afternoon. Okay, now LMS and LRS tracking under tracking here. Okay, now the first selected option, the learner completes gates reported to the LMS or LRS. Okay, so if let's say you want to put this option, okay, now when the learner has viewed 100%, which is 45 slides, okay, of this project. Now, what does 100% mean? Okay, 100% means that all your slides need to be viewed up to the completion of the slide, up to timeline ends. All the interactions need to be clicked. All the videos need to be viewed as well, up to end of the timeline. And all of the narration need to be listened as well. Okay, so all those things you definitely need to actually capture the 100%. So now we don't recommend 100%. Okay, we only recommend slides. Okay, now slides means that although you have 45 slides, for me, I have 45 slides, I'm a lenient trainer. So definitely I put 30 slides of my project, consider completed already. Okay, so LMS will mark it as completed, but what is the score? Okay, now what is the score means that I go into the second setting. Okay, when the learner completes a quiz result slide, that means I want to do final assessment. Now, this one add track quiz, that means you can add multiple quizzes in there with the result slide. Okay, so that means all these things will be tracked as well. Okay, your LMS depends whether it does this as well. That means you can track the first quiz result, second quiz result, third quiz result. I'm not sure. This depends on your LMS settings. Okay, then using triggers, complete course. Okay, now, right now, okay, since last year, we recommend all users to actually create a complete course trigger based on the last slide of your course. Now, why we say that? Okay, now in the sense that sometimes your browser updates, okay, your articulate did not update. Sometimes articulate updates, sometimes the OS updates. Okay, so now sometimes your LMS also updates. So now, although it's working right now, but it may not work in the future or vice versa. So this is to save-proof your content to actually send a message to the LMS that is completed. So meaning that this one, I just create a button, okay? So I just click, then it sends a message to the LMS already. Okay, so now last year we had some issues with this because more or less that we treat this as do not have the save proof because more or less people did not actually create this trigger. Okay, so then we advise them to actually create and everything solved already. So this is where some of the issues may actually occur one. Okay, sometimes it's working, then sometimes it's not working. Okay, so you need to monitor your content based on your LMS. Okay, so any questions coming from the floor? Okay, none. Now, let's say I just click OK. Now, for this result slides and the questions, it's best to actually publish. Now, publish it out because we want to test the print results. Now, print results is actually printing using the browser. Okay, so that's where it uses a third-party software. Okay, so it's best to publish it out before you can test. Okay, now quiz settings goes back to this dialog box. Okay, and that's it. Now, let's say I just publish this scene, okay, in order to check out retry quiz and everything, web-based, publish, single scene, which is QB1, number 6, okay, okay, click publish. Now, in order to publish, you need to see the whole thing with the questions, with the result slides as well. If you only preview the slide, okay, sometimes your result slide will actually come out as always pass for you. So that's where you need to preview with the questions itself. Okay, this will take some time. Try to do the publishing. Yes, Virat, you got a question.
Yeah, I would like to know which
Oh, you switch off your microphone already?
I would like to know Talent LMS learning management system. It's which the tracking report that we can use with the Talent LMS.
Talent LMS is definitely SCORM compliant. That is only SCORM 1.2 compliant. Yeah. Yeah, so definitely that that one you may need to, what you call, you can publish as usual. Okay, you just upload your content into Talent LMS and it will track accordingly. Now, under Talent LMS, you can actually create customized reports as well. So it depends on your organization, what it needs to monitor. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm concerned that when we publish, it's not we cannot track the report in the Talent LMS.
No, you can. Okay, you can generate the reports from the Talent LMS, and basically under Talent LMS also you have a dashboard. Okay, dashboard, that means a display screen that you can see the results. Then if you want to actually export into Excel, if not mistaken, you can export. Okay, then you can add in the columns, you can add in any rows to it, and you can do the tabulation by yourself lah. Yeah, so that's the good thing about Talent LMS. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So no need to worry about the option, right? In when we publish it, the cost.
The options, definitely you need to be concerned during the 6th session only. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This session, definitely I train for the result slide. This is the first part of the result slide. Okay. That means I just publish, but the 6th session, we will go in deeper into the publishing side. Okay. So that's the few options that you need to consider as well. Okay. And take note of the publishing side, because there are some things that you need to take control as well. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's where now in our company, for your knowledge only, in our company, I'm the most experienced LMS person. Okay, because I deal with Talent LMS, I deal with also Brightspace, I deal with Moodle before. Okay, I deal with SCORM Cloud as well, and also based on the training that I provide for Articulate, SuccessFactors also come into me. Okay, Oracle also come into me. Okay, SumTotal also come into me sometimes, but we are unable to provide certain advisors to them, in a sense that we cannot touch their LMS. Okay, we can only advise. Yeah. So see whether it's true, then they check under the LMS. So if they did not come back, no news is good news to us lah, in a sense. Yeah. Okay. So any other questions? Okay, thank you, Virat. Now, let's view this project before we take a break at around 10:30 like that. Yeah. Now, so this is the first question that I do. Okay, so let's say this is the first question. Then, okay, second question, third question. Because I only select 5 questions, so it depends on whether it selected the link questions also. 5 questions. So now I did not pass. Okay, so 40% out of 20 points. So this one is 40 points, the passing score. So I only get 40 points out of 80 points. So you did not pass. Now, once you need to retry quiz, I can just easily quit, and the questions is different. Okay, so let's do it again. Second question, third question, Fourth question. Fifth question. Yeah. Now, review quiz means that what? It shows you what is the option that you selected and what is the correct answer. Okay, then after that, I can just click next, 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 then go back to the result slide. Now, print results means that it will come out like a web page to you. This is the result slide of the student score. Okay, now student score, passing score, results. This one, I got it 40 marks. So these are the questions that is showcased. Correct answer, student answer, result, points awarded. Okay, now points awarded, I only score 2 questions correct. Now, when you put the print results, okay, it's only available for the users, for the learners to actually go through. Okay, now learners can see this up to you. That means they know what is the student answer already, what they have attempted, your choice. Okay, if you do not want the print result button to be in, ignore that. Okay, so this is what you can do as well. Okay, now later on, I believe in session 8, we will train you the number of attempts that you can put inside the quizzes question. Okay, sometimes your attempts is that I only want 3 attempts. I don't want multiple attempts. I only want 3 attempts. How to set that? Okay, so this one you need to make use of variables. Okay, so any questions coming from the floor for this part? Yes, Casey.
Yes, Alina. Once we upload the score file in the LMS, will the scores be also or the grades, the passing score, such will also be recorded in the system?
Yes, it will.
Okay.
Yeah. So no matter what, that's where you need a result slide. Okay. Now, yeah. So result slide is if you get 80 marks, okay, definitely 80 marks will be inside your LMS. Okay. Now there is a lot of behind the scene programming inside the result slide itself. How it sends the message to the LMS, that one you do not need to take care. Okay, because it's different set of programming already. Okay. Now, based on your LMS, also check whether your LMS is first attempt that it tracks. Okay, first attempt of your result slide. So if let's say it's first attempt, let's say you got 3 attempts under the question bank. So first attempt, I actually scored 85 marks. Okay, then I just want to refresh my mind. I went in again. Then I scored 75 marks. Okay, so 85 marks is actually captured inside your LMS. Your second attempt is not captured. Then after that, I say to myself, I need to pass this. So I re-attempt, third time. Okay, then what does it capture? Now the third time that I attempt, 80 marks. So what does it capture under the LMS? Since I set the LMS to be first time only, it still captures 85 marks for me. Okay, so these are certain settings that you need to take care under the LMS side. Now for this training, we do not include the LMS, okay, but certain settings I can advise you. Okay, then there is another setting that is the highest attempt. Okay, so if let's say you score 75 marks, 85 marks, then 80 marks, okay, 85 marks will be stored inside the LMS. Okay, now if let's say you want to only capture the last attempt, okay, so if let's say the first time that you score is 80 marks, okay, then 95 marks, then 85 marks. Which one does it store? 85 marks. Okay, so these are some of the settings that it has under the LMS. So when I think last week, one of the user actually, not to say one of the user, one of my colleague, I believe that I've told you before, has asked me, what are the settings to be done? Because it only captures the first attempt. So when they re-attempt, the results are not actually captured. So that means I told her to actually check with the user, ask the user to check with their vendor whether it's first attempt that they set, last attempt, or highest attempt. So these are the settings that I asked her to check. Yeah. Okay. So any questions or any comments under the quizzes, because we have done for quizzes already? Yeah, question bank or result slides? None. Okay, so it's good time for a break. Okay, so the break time will be around 15 minutes. Okay, so once we come back, okay, we will do even screen recording. Okay, and then we'll move on to branch scenario. Okay, so we'll come back around 10:40 like that, 10, 15 minutes. Yeah, 10:40. Okay, so let's start. Once you are back, can you put a thumbs up? Whether everyone is back. If you are back, please put a thumbs up. Okay, Shira is back. Thank you. Okay, Lisa is also back. Okay, you still have 1.5 minutes. Okay, Casey is back. How about Virex, Sudara, or Sukuntia? Are you back? Okay, Sukuntia is back also. Okay, Virex is back. Okay. Now, let me show you some samples while we're waiting for Sudara. Okay. Now, the samples of this, since it is quizzes just now earlier that we did, let me just expand it a bit. Now, this is a medical sample. Okay. So let's say I type in EL, then I click play. Okay. Yes, thank you, Sudara. Then now it asks you to choose certain avatars. Okay, which avatar would you want? Okay, then it actually presents to you. Great. Then after that, you click next. Now, for this one is BlueSpoke. Click here to play. So let's say I click play. That means I just read the text, then I click play as well. This is developed for learntelehealth.org lah. Okay. Now you have 4 links here. Okay. To begin, click on a link in this route. Okay. You have 1 reclaim link for this level. If you miss a question, you can use it by selecting the miss link and answering the questions correctly. So this is one reclaim link. So let's say you want to begin, so you click on the link. Another name given to the site where the specialist providing telemedicine resides. I don't know what's the answer. Okay, so I just click distant site, then I submit. Now, it's a correct one. So now, once you want to claim the link, then it actually increases the points to 100 marks. So this is the character that just now that I selected and the name. Okay, this is a reference point. Okay, so now if you click under the second one, then let's say I get correct again. Let's try to get wrong. SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, and opportunity. Follow true. Correct again. Goodness. True also. Incorrect. Thank you. Now, if you get incorrect, it will be displayed as a black one. Okay, now, just now that question, okay, so it's different. Okay, how did we create that? Okay, so that means I got two sets of question bank in there. Okay, so let's say I just simply click incorrect again. So this only maintains for 300 marks. Okay, so this one is a sample of the question bank side. Okay, you can venture into it because the samples are with you already. Okay, now this one could be a game-based learning as well. Okay, sometimes you put on the lessons first, okay, and then come out with the questions. Then you see the path from point A to point B. Okay, once you pass, only point C will appear. Then they click on one link. Okay, so let's say you follow is that first time I need to go through a lesson. Okay, lesson ready, then come in these 4 different spokes here. That's where I click. Once I pass, okay, then it comes in, congratulations, you have passed the level 1. Let's proceed to level 2. Okay, then the lessons of level 2 will come out. Then only that I click under the different spokes to go through the level 2 questions. Okay, so this is a game-based learning, definitely. Okay, now the next sample, this one is quite interesting. There are 5 hidden items in the sand. First, use the metal detector to find the item locations. This one is the metal detector. Then after that, I click close. Use the brush to remove the sand and uncover the facts about the ancient Egypt. Okay, now, so these two, I just click close. Now, this one is one of the trigger that you can make use, which is drag over. Okay, so as long as I drag, what does it happen? What do you see? Okay, once you drag, the question mark appears. Okay, now this one is intersection with the hotspot. Once the hotspot is intersected, then after that you want to change the state into a dotted lines. And then after that, what do? I just change the state. That means originally is hidden. Then once the brushes go through, I change the state to this one. And then after that, I click learn more, okay, which launches a layer. So now sometimes your content can be that interesting in a sense that you do not actually give them the content directly. You want them to explore, to learn certain parts of the content. Let's say I just uncover, this one is one thing. Then second thing, it is that interesting. Okay, so now basically you can change this concept, not to say ancient Egypt. Okay, sometimes you can uncover the secrets of the beach. Okay, a lot of things get hidden inside the beach one or under the sand. Okay, something like that, or within the sea. Okay, so or you want to do a called the shipwreck. Okay, something like that. Okay, so all these things is actually allowing you to do as well. Think creatively. Okay, now this is one sample that is very interesting. This one we'll do later. Okay, this is something to do with branching scenarios. Okay, let's see another samples. This one is also questions. Okay, let's go through this. Escape rooms. Okay, now Amsterdam vacation rental, a travel drama. Okay, so let's click next. Meet Jessica. She just spent a week on vacation in Amsterdam. She rented a beautiful canal apartment on VRBO from a gentleman named Bas Johnson. So let's click next. During the week, Jessica wanted to safeguard her travel documents and valuables. The apartment was outfitted with a safe in the living room. It is open with a 5-digit code. So let's click next. What did Jessica store in the safe? Definitely a passport, okay, some money and some jewelry. Okay, then you click next. Just as she is packing to leave, Jessica has a terrifying realization. She has forgotten the 5-digit code to the safe and her plane leaves in 2 hours. So let's click next. She texts Buzz. Can you tell me the 5-digit code to the safe in the living room? Desperate, plane leaves in 2 hours. Okay, so let's say Buzz responds. Sorry, I don't recall the code. But don't worry, I have hidden clues in the house. Search the 4 rooms. Okay, so he's not much help. Start searching for the clues. Click next to see how you can help Jessica. Now, since this one is escape room, okay, so what do you expect to see? So once you click next, there are 4 different rooms here. Visit each of the rooms to uncover clues to the safe code. You can take notes and try codes out by clicking the notes and code buttons. There is only one 5-digit code. Okay, so now let's venture into the bathroom first because it's the smallest room. So now it doesn't give you any instructions. Okay, so meaning that you need to explore. Okay, so let's explore by moving the mouse. Ooh, the first 2 digits of the safe code are the international calling code for the Netherlands, which is 31, the first 2 digits. So let's try to recall. Please conserve water. This is the Netherlands. Now, how did we do the state? That means upon you hover on top, that means a hotspot. That means I can change the state to be normal in order to show the caption that we did yesterday. Okay, so that means I just put in 31. I can just click under here. Okay, 31. And then I want to move on. Okay, move on into another room. Now, this one is very good that it engages the user to escape the room so that Jessica can actually fly back, okay, can travel back to her home place. Okay, so this one is that you can make it treasure hunt game. Treasure hunt within the office. Then to improve on this, because this was created before the 360 images. So now, if you created a 360 images based on your office, you can do that. More interesting. Okay, don't you think so? Once you explore the 360 images, okay, let's say the 360 images, this one, the room, once you go in, you need to find certain clues. Okay, then lessons will go in, quizzes will go in. Then after that, oh, I finished, certain badges is collected, certain points are collected, and then I come out. Okay, then I proceed to the next one. Okay, then you start searching. So that is exploring. Okay, now you can actually create all this game-based learning based on certain types of content. Okay, now the content that says, let's say AMLA, BCM, all those things is very boring one. Okay, and plus it's like you can actually create this type of content that is challenging for especially salespeople. Okay, salespeople like challenges. Okay, operational people, they do not have time, so that's where they want content straight away. Okay, and management level as well, they do not like to explore. Okay, so this one also, it captures certain parts of the learners. So you need to know your learners' age, okay, how old they are, okay, because once you actually grow up, okay, and then they do not like to explore one unless they are, okay. So that's where you can actually visit under the escape room because only you know your learners. I don't know, okay. Yeah, so that is one challenge for you. Okay. Now let's go back to storyline right now. Okay. Now for this, I need to go through, before we go through the screen recording, let's go through the triggers first, the list of triggers that you have. Now, once I click on the triggers action, okay, under action, what do you have first? Let me explain all these triggers. Now, common triggers, okay, change state of that we have touched, that means changing the state of certain object. Okay, let's say you want to change the color from hidden to normal, normal to hidden, or hidden to glow. So all those things is changing state. Next button also hidden, disable, all those things. Even drop correct, like yesterday that we did. Okay, now show layer, hide layer, I believe that you all are familiar already. Okay, jump to slide, jump to scene. That means you want to branch from one slide to one slide. Okay, jump to scene means that, let's say chapter 1, you want to jump to chapter 2. Okay, by the end of the slide, you jump to the first slide of that scene. Okay, so this is this two. Jump to queue or jump to time. So this one that we didn't do, but this one is an optional exercises for you. That is a CEO under the first session. So now once you click on this, let's say, now, once you click under time, you have forward or backward as well. Start of timeline, end of timeline. So if forward means that you want to fast forward, okay, backward means that you want to rewind. Okay, so all those things is there. Oops, I click cancel. Okay, then lightbox slide that we did yesterday, close lightbox. Now, whenever you create a menu as a lightbox, definitely once I click close, definitely this trigger will go in, close lightbox. Okay, now move means that this one is motion path. Okay, so later on, I believe is this afternoon. No, not this afternoon. I think it's session 7 that we will touch next week. Okay. Now, media, that means you can play the media, video or audio. Now, this media, sometimes, let's say if you choose the audio, this one is media, no. Pause media. Now, this one is video, or you can play the audio as well. Okay. Now, project means that is restart, exit, and complete course. So this one that you need to create based on the just now that I mentioned the result slide there, complete course trigger. Okay. Now, usually we do 2 different triggers, complete course, okay, and then coming down, which is exit course upon I click this button to save proof the content that it sends the message to the LMS. Okay. Now, if let's say you want to restart course, that means it restarts from the beginning of the lesson. Okay. Now, adjust variable. This one has something to do with variables. We will cater for this next week only. Pause timeline, resume timeline. This one has something to do with timeline under the slide or under the layer itself. So whenever there is videos, like the first session, the CEO one, okay, if let's say you tell me that, remember the layer actually appears halfway, the interactive video, so you can make use of the triggers also by using pause timeline or resume timeline to create. Okay, so this one won't conflict with the narration that goes on under the layer. Okay, now open URL file. Okay, now open URL or file is that you can actually add on any additional resources like from different websites or a file. Okay, like you want your learners to know what templates do you actually create or fill up, complete. Okay, I believe that the banking side has even all of you also have even pharmaceutical, even airline. Okay, so all these things you would have different templates to actually fill up the form. Okay, now when you need to do this, open URL or file, okay, best to be local files. What do I mean by local files? Local files, that means residing inside your PC or laptop. Okay, now best not to be inside the server, the files. Okay, why we say that? Now, if you access to the server, you need additional permission access. That means Articulate does not have that. Although it's seamless to you already, that you just click, then you are able to access. But IT has set up for you, okay, based on that. But Articulate does not have the access. So whenever you need to actually source for the file from the server, okay, best to copy the file into your local. You can add that on after you have published, okay, delivered to the subject matter experts ready, and after you have actually uploaded into LMS, everything settled, only then that you can remove the file. Okay, so this is what we advise, because the file will be missing if let's say it's gathered from a server. Okay, server means that it's SharePoint, like OneDrive, Google Drive, WeTransfer, or Dropbox. Okay, so all those things is server. Okay, now URL can be your intranet links, intranet within the LAN itself, or let's say any websites. Okay, now send email to, if you want to use this trigger, you can send even the results, okay, to another person. That means definitely it will screenshot, okay, then it will send an email to the administrator. You can set that email lah. Okay, now execute JavaScript. This one we will train next week. Okay, JavaScript. Now send X API statement. This one has something to do with LRS, Learning Record Store. Now once you click under LRS, the learner, you have all these things to be selected. That means, let's say this person has abandoned the question or abandoned this slide or asked about this, okay, attended this course, commented, completed, experienced, failed, interacted, passed, progressed, satisfied, terminated, viewed, and waived. Okay, now there are a lot of settings. These are the things that Articulate first created. Now this LRS is first introduced early this year only. Okay, so they are still improving on that. Okay, so later on, once you do certain updates, it will add on more things. Okay, then after which, quizzes, all the quizzes trigger: print results, reset results, review results, submit results, and submit interaction. Okay, now these are the triggers that it has. Okay, then after that, there is upon when as well. Upon mouse events, user clicks, user double clicks, user right clicks, user clicks outside, mouse hovers over. Okay, these are the mouse events. Object events. Okay, now state means that upon certain states are changed, like yesterday that we did the next button. Upon all the objects are visited, I change the state of next button. This is what we did. Okay, now animation completes. Animation stands for how called fade in, fade out, or motion path. Okay, so all those things is actually animation. Once certain animations is done, what you want to do. Okay, so this is where it does. Now, object intersects, object intersection ends, object enters slide, object leaves slide. Now, this is something to do with the ancient Egypt, just now the sample that I showed. Okay, once the metal detector actually intersects with the hotspot, okay, then what happens? You want to change the state to be a dotted lines. Okay, that's what it means. So this is the opposite of it. Okay, object enters slide. If let's say the character enters the slide, what you want to do. Okay, so this is it. Okay, now slider moves, down turns. This one we will touch this afternoon. Okay, slider and down is another interaction form. Now, right now we mostly deal with clicks. Okay, slider and down is swipe. Okay, now variable changes. This has something to do with variables that we will cater next week only. Okay, media completes, some of the media completes that we have touched. Now, media complete stands for audio or video. Okay, so once a video is completed, what you want to do. Okay, now user presses a key. Okay, now key means that you press anything on the keyboard. Okay, keypad. So let's say you want to press enter, then what happens? Okay, these are the things. Object loses focus. That means it's a typing. Now, when we do the input text, okay, on next Monday, okay, then you can see the object loses focus trigger will be there. Okay, now timeline starts, timeline ends, timeline reaches. Okay, so these things we have touched base under yesterday as well as the first day session. Now, object drag over and object drop on. Okay, now these two triggers are for you to actually drag it out. Okay, to explore. Okay, so say for example, the metal detector, I can use object drag over, okay, onto the hotspot. So I need a few triggers. Okay, so on that. Okay, so these are the explanation of the trigger side. So right now, I believe that most of you all will know what are the explanation of the triggers, and you know what the triggers does. Okay, so anything coming from the floor for this? None. So I'll proceed to screen recording right now. Let's cancel, save your file. Now, screen recording actually records anything that happens on your screen. Okay, say for example, you want to train people how to use the LMS. Okay, like just now Virat actually asked, or talent LMS. So you want to train or educate your people how to make use of LMS, how to access to the course, how to generate the report. Then let's say how to expand the course, or whether to check the point system, how to change the different profiles. So all those things you can actually record screen. Okay, so now like Lisa. Okay, Lisa's side, she's doing pharmaceutical. Okay, so definitely there is systems involved. Okay, so if you want to train the new learner, okay, how to enter into the system, you don't actually go there. You can actually just record. As long as Articulate is installed and you'll be able to access, okay, then you can actually record your screen, which doesn't take much time. But preparation work need to be done lah. That means you record the screen, everything. So whenever any new person come in, e-learning lah. Okay, e-learning will do. Do not occupy your time after that. Okay, so this is where you can chip in as well. Okay, now record screen is under slides. Okay, so now once you click record screen, the drop downer, so it's totally empty for this storyline file. So delete unused recording, record your screen. So now once you click record your screen, okay, dotted lines will appear. Okay, dotted lines will appear. So let's say I just want to record under my primary screen, not my secondary screen. So let me switch screen first. Let's see.
Alina, sorry, I have a question.
Yeah.
When I tried that method, my screen, everything went missing. I mean, like, I only see some dotted line.
Yes, that's the way.
Oh, it's supposed to be like that. Oh, okay.
Yes, yeah.
All right.
Let me share my screen. First one. Let me put out the Word document. File new. Now, why I need to put into my primary monitor is because the resolution differences. Okay, if you record in different resolutions, sometimes it come out only half the screen. So that's why I need to switch to my primary monitor. Now, so let's say I just want to record over here. You can actually shrink the size, something like this. Okay, I just want to focus here. Okay, now when you are ready, you can click under the red button. Okay, then this one is the microphone. Okay, and plus you can select different screens. Okay, different size of the screens, and also this one is the property settings. Okay, so you can set whether stop recording is escape, alternate D. Okay, whether it pauses or resumes, your choice. Okay, I believe that I need to share again because my voice doesn't seem to show. Oh, ha 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 ha. Okay, got. Okay, then after that I click OK. Now once I'm ready, it tells you certain steps here. Move and resize a frame. Click the red button to record. Press done when finishing. Now whatever you want to record, which is within the dotted lines itself. Okay, so once you're ready, you can press record. I'm just going to record a fast one. It gives you a countdown. Then I go in. Now, my name is Elena Lim Fang Yi. Okay, trainer for certified articulate programs. Okay, then after that, I click file, I click save as, and then after which I just put it inside my desktop and I click save. Then after that, I click N, okay, or escape, okay, so that it will start to render. Okay, now once it's doing the rendering, that means the progress bar will actually go on. It's making use of your RAM, your temporary memory. Okay, so make sure the temporary memory is a lot. Okay, 8 gig RAM is fine. Okay, 4 gig RAM, not advisable. That means 4 gig RAM is that you need to clear off your memory. Okay, then only you start recording. Okay, now let me switch to my, let's say, switch screens again, so that it's easier for me as well.
No, Casey here. Sorry, I tried. I practiced. No, however, I can't seem to find that bar where I can click the done button.
Yeah.
I'm having the same problem too.
Yeah, so that means I just press escape.
Oh,
There was no escape.
Yeah,
Okay.
escape, that means under the property settings there, you can set certain settings for the stop recording. So mine is escape, up to you to set as well. Or unless you want to click under the taskbar here, okay, then you can actually bring that out, then you press done. Then you go into the setting, the gearbox, and change the setting.
okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah. Now, once you press escape, okay, then once it renders under the temporary memory, this dialog box will be out. If it doesn't come out, click under the taskbar here under storyline. Okay, now once this is out, okay, you can rename it Word, for example, MS Word. Okay, now it has 4 different modes to record into, okay, which is video mode. Okay, first one, video mode. Then second mode, step-by-step mode. Now, the step-by-step mode, you have 3 modes. Okay, view mode, try mode, and test modes. Okay, so all those things it actually allows you to. Now, let's say I just select video mode first. Show mouse cursor. Okay, then new scene, video scene. This one is insert slides into, and then I just directly click insert. Now, don't worry, I give you some time to actually practice this. Oops, where is that? Gone. Yeah, yeah. Now, once it's doing the progress bar, okay, now what does this mean? That means it's fetching from the temporary memory, creating as a video slide for you. It's not saved as a permanent file inside your PC yet. Okay, so that's where I do not touch my notebook. When it's rendering, you do not touch your notebook. Whenever you launch an application, okay, whenever you are processing any application or close any application or actually copying certain things, okay, this will jerk the video. Okay, am I right, Virek or Sadara? Okay, since you are multimedia, yes. So that's where, let's say this is done already. Let me see. Now, push this here. Now, once it's done, okay, you have your video scene here. Now, until you click save button, only is being saved into a file inside your PC. Everything is still working as a temporary memory. Okay, so this means that your temporary memory need to be quite high, quite sufficient in order to cater for this. Now, normally we just do a short clip, not a long clip. So now let's take a look under here. Now, without doing any changes, so I've done around 36 seconds. Okay, so this slide. Then I go in. Now, my name is Elena Lim. So for video, it will record the voice as well. Trainer for certified articulate programs. Okay. Then after that, I click File, I click Save As, and then after which I just put it inside my desktop, and I click Save. Then after that, I click End, okay, or Escape, okay, so that it will start to render. Yeah, that's where I ended already, okay. Now, once you click close review, the normal editing of the video will take place. So video tools, edit options, then edit video. Now the video will be able to change the size as well, your choice. Okay. Now if you want this video, okay, to be edited slide by slide base, okay, if you recorded well already. Now let me show you first, you don't do it first. Okay. Now let's say you want this existing video to be converted into slide by slide base. How would you do it? So definitely I go into slides, I go into record screen, okay, and I just select the recording itself. Okay, this particular recording, that means I just want to switch it to step-by-step slides. Okay, so that means I just search under step-by-step slides, view mode, try mode, and test mode. Now, view mode is demonstration. Okay, try mode is a practice. Okay, test mode is an assessment. That means sometimes you want to create this in order to test the competency or the skill set of the learners before they are put to the task to do it. Okay, so this one is up to you as well. Okay, so I'll try for view mode steps first. Now, right at the bottom, you have view mode options as well. So let's click on view mode options. Now, language for captions. Okay, now English, all these languages is supported. Sorry, you do not have Cambodia or Khmer, okay, because it's not really a popular language. Even Malay also it doesn't have. The only closest to Malay is Indonesian. Okay, so now, so I just want to change it to one of the language, which is, what is it? Let's say Indonesian lah. Okay, add text caption, show mouse cursor, indicate clicks with highlight. Okay, so let's say I click OK, then insert slides into this scene. Okay, now once this is done, the progress bar, this is also rendering using your temporary memory. Okay, rendering using your temporary memory for the video in order to create slide by slides. Okay, so this part of things I do not actually touch on my notebook. Okay, now how does it know that it's creating slide 2 out of 4, 2 out of 9? Okay, how does it know? Okay, so now once it's slide by slide, definitely it separates. Okay, so now it tests by, it tracks by every click. Every click is one slide. Okay, once you change from click to entering of different fields, is also one slide. Okay, so once you change from every click, not to say every click, every entering of the slide in order to change to a click, that is also one slide. Okay, so that's how it determines the number of slides you have. So such a short clip also, it creates 9 slides. Okay, so now after this, okay, you have captions here. You can actually alter the captions as well. You can actually manipulate the captions. Okay, your highlight box, which is over here. Okay, then your mouse cursor, which is over here. Okay, now without doing anything, okay, I just preview this scene first. Okay, since this one is demonstration, slide by slide base, it does not record any audio. Okay, because it assumes that you want to put in audio, your narration itself. So that means it just records whatever things, and you can see the mouse cursor. Let's say this one is a highlight box and the caption. The mouse cursor is actually a red color circle. Okay, so whether it clicks save as, double click, all those things. Okay, now let me tell you what you can change. Okay, now based on the timeline, this one is the mouse, this is a rounded caption, and this one is the highlight box itself. This one, screen recording, that means you are changing from one thing to another thing. So upon you click, this one changes the slide to this. Okay, so at this point, that's where the screen recording is capturing your entry. So that's where it's that long. Okay, so say for example, okay, Now, for screen recording, which you want to edit, okay, this one, so you can actually right click, action fine tuning. Okay, now action fine tuning is only for screen recording. Let me push this in. Okay, now you have update start frame, update end frame as well. Okay, so let's say you just want to show up to here, up to here lah. Yeah, here. So this one is update end frame. Instead of 450, I just want to switch to 205. So I update end frame, then I click OK. Okay, now once you click OK, it will start to update. Okay, rendering update, and after that you will see this one will be shorter. The bar will be shorter. Okay, so let's see. Now, indeed, it's shorter. Now, once it's shorter, okay, definitely I need to change my timeline ends to be somewhere here, because you do not want the learners to wait for so long, then only it changes the slide. Okay, so this is what we mean. Now, how does it know that it detects ketik? Ketik is bahasa Indonesian. Okay, so all these things it actually detects. Click. Okay, this is not the spelling under English. Okay, so now if you change to different languages, it will determine by different languages. Now, how does it determine? Okay, basically it depends on your programmers that develop the program, whether they did the tooltip for every field, for every entry. If they did it correctly, then the names of all these things, it will come out correctly. Okay, so sometimes customized softwares, they do not do the tooltip. They just want the outcome coming out so that people can see. But based on what we have experienced so far under the internet-based kind of systems, okay, most of them is only having one tooltip alone. Okay, the same tooltip all over. So that's where we need to customize further. Okay, now basically, this is the thing that I train you. Right now, I just want to spend around, I just want you all to spend around 10 minutes, okay? Later on, I'll come back around 11:30 like that, okay? Now, I want you all to do even action fine tuning. Now, I want you all to do view mode, try mode, and test mode, okay? See what are the differences. Okay, now for test mode, definitely it creates a result slide. Just do a short clip. Okay, so just try. Okay, because without your trying, you all wouldn't ask any questions. Okay, it's for 10 minutes to try on. So you can try also the video mode. Go ahead and try. If you find that you have challenges, you can ask me, or you want to type in inside the chat room, that's fine.
Lina, sorry.
Yep.
Can you would it be okay if you do a quick recap on the fine tuning?
Okay, can. Let's see, I go here. Now, fine tuning is that, let's say you just click on the animation, okay, the screen recording itself, then you right click, action fine tuning. Then whether you want to change this to longer or shorter. Now this one is changing the ending frame of it, and this one, the blue line, is changing the starting frame of it. Your choice. So let's say I just want to switch the second phase. Okay, then after that, this one is starting frame, then I just click OK. Yeah, something like that. So is that sufficient? I'm not sure.
All
Okay.
good. I'm just
Yeah.
moving the
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah. Then once that is done, you need to change the end of the slide thing as well, because it's shorter already. Yeah. Okay. So who has done it? What are the differences? If you have not done it, you wouldn't ask me any questions. Or don't know what's the problem, or don't know what are the concerns there. Yeah. Lisa?
I got lost in the beginning itself.
Yeah. How?
I was doing until the part that recording, and
Okay.
I tried to preview. By the time I can preview, I missed a lot.
Ah.
Actually, quite lost.
Okay. So once, let's say you recorded, you preview the video scene. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so right now you go to record screen, you can click under the existing recording. Then after that, this dialog box will be out. You can switch to step-by-step slides. Then you can choose whatever options there, whether view mode, try mode, or test mode. So if let's say test mode, then after that you need to click test mode options. That's all.
Oh, but wait, I start with that. Oh, okay, got it.
Okay, yeah.
But I think I still missed quite a lot because it went quite fast. It's okay. I'll
Ah,
check back the video.
okay, thank you.
Okay, sorry.
No problem, no problem. Shaira, how are you doing?
I'm previewing the video.
Uh-huh. Have you done the view scene, try scene, and test scene?
Only doing
Ah, okay, can. So that means you all need more time. Yeah, that's fine. How about Sadara and VRED? Have you all installed the virtual OS already?
Actually, when we finish class, the computer shop also closed, so I plan that
Oh,
on the weekend. Yes, I might.
Ah,
Uh,
okay.
for what I'm going to like, I have requested in the company
Sure.
to purchase it. So they are processing it. So I'm still looking for like the result for the tracking of that as well. What I'm going to do right now is just bring my laptop, my personal laptop. I also use my MacBook, my personal laptop, not Windows one.
Okay. So what was your question regarding the tracking part?
The tracking part, actually, I have requested like last month, and I keep following up. But because of like right now, like the COVID spread something in my head office, so less people is working. So I know it's difficult for them for the situation right now, but I still keep tracking with them.
You keep track with us or keeping track with your users?
No. I mean about people in my company. Actually, to request and they need to do the procurement process. You know the thing.
Okay. Yeah, understood. Because if not mistaken, our team side of things or platform is supporting you under Satapana for the platform, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that means it's Talent LMS, is it right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so they are supporting you. Then I just received a message that you all have a meeting.
Yeah. I see that the meeting is today at the afternoon around 4 o'clock in Malaysia.
So did you all change it?
I'm not sure. I will discuss with Virya first.
Okay, sure. Because sometimes when I'm in the office last week, especially when I was in the office, I hear every day that you all are that they are having calling with you. Yeah, with all of you all lah, under the Satapana side. Yeah,
Sometimes
which is good.
in the morning as well.
Yeah, which is good. Yeah, because right now is the best time to ask them so that you all know the in and outs of Talent LMS itself, how to do the setup, how to generate the reports, okay, then how to actually enroll the people. Yeah, things like that lah, definitely. We do not get this type of training from them one. That's a joke, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely for our team side, we strongly stress that you all learn by yourself, okay, under the Talent LMS. If let's say anyone needs certain parts of the training, we only train the basic, okay, how to upload the course, how to create a user, how to see the reports that you need, how to, because uploading the course also you can upload SCORM or videos or whatever content that you want, how to add the section, then how to reset the course. Yeah, so these things that we need to learn lah. Yeah, but that's all that we get. It's only half an hour training for us. And then, yeah, so most of the LMS is about the same. Okay, now the standard LMS that you all should know is that you all need to follow SCORM Cloud. So in this afternoon session, okay, why you need to follow SCORM Cloud? Okay, let me type that in inside the chat room. Let me find that web link first. SCORM Cloud. Now, SCORM Cloud itself, it is a standard LMS that 95% of the vendors follow. Okay, so they are the ones, Rustici software, you can see Rustici software, RUSTICI software. Okay, they are the ones that develop SCORM. They are the ones that came out with SCORM. Do you know what SCORM stands for? It's shareable content object, okay, relational model, yeah, or reference model, yes. Shareable content object reference model, okay, it's such a long term, so they cut it short to call it SCORM. Okay, now Rustici software has developed different types of standards for e-learning itself. So it's not only SCORM. Okay, so later on, I'll explain about this. Yeah.
Alina, can I ask you something?
Yes.
What am I supposed to do at view scene?
View scene is that sometimes you want to do action fine tuning. So you find certain slides that is a lot, that is longer, the screen recording one, right click, action fine tuning.
Oh, just on the slide.
Yes. So it's not the clickable thing. So this one is screen recording itself. Okay. Yeah. Then venture into action fine tuning for view mode. Now for try mode and test mode, most likely it converts whatever clicks, whatever entry into a practice. Okay, into a quiz-based question. Yeah, Casey. Now Casey has done it. So Casey, what do you think of screen recording?
No, I only tried the test, and I
Uh-huh.
agree that after I clicked, like randomly, no, it moved to your incorrect answer, something like that. So it's kind of weird. I said I did not include anything related to a result. So I'm now exploring the view mode. We're done with the test with the try mode, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So view mode, that means it's demonstration mode. That means sometimes we actually train people how to do it first. Okay. Then try mode, you want them to practice. That means certain times that you want to pass them hints. Okay. Test mode is that you want to evaluate them. That means definitely you need to put in a story that what to be entered. Then after that, let me go into my test mode, have a look. Now, test scene itself under form view. This one is hotspots. Now, this part is entry key. That means all this is converted into a quiz questions. So now, this one is all the acceptable answers that you can put in for. Okay, so basically, you need to enter the hint caption. Okay, you can add in the hint caption for them to enter. Okay, what is the hint? That means you just want to put them, my name is what name. So that means I just put in my name is just like that. So this is the acceptable answers that you can have. Okay, so all these things it actually permits you to do. Then you also check out under slide view the triggers that it sets. Now, this one is object loses focus. When you do the entry, entry, that's where it uses object loses focus. Object, that means it's the text entry. Okay, so all these things it actually allows you to. And plus, your hotspot area, you are able to change it. Okay, so try mode and test mode wants you to actually test on it. That means you need to do the interaction. View mode, I can just see. Okay, I can just view, okay, in order to know what to do. Okay, so all those things you need to try so that you can ask more questions if you need. Okay, yeah. So Shaira, how are you doing?
I did all the 3 modes and I preview it how it works. I think I need more practice. But I like the concept of the screen record because before this, for my module development for system, I always screen record using the PowerPoint.
Yes.
Which is difficult because after I import it on PowerPoint, I need to export it to a video editing app, and then but in Articulate I just edit in there.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. You can record through a PowerPoint as well. And furthermore, in Windows 10, I'm not sure about Windows 11. Windows 10 thing under, if I can't recall what's the control keys that I actually click on. If not mistaken, alternate G, if not mistaken. Yeah, I don't know what really. There's one function inside Windows side, function G. No. Yeah, I don't know what function really. That Windows function also, you can record screen. Okay, it's a video. Now, this part of things under Articulate, you can separate slide by slide because it assumes that you want to do a lot of enhancements, a lot of changes in there. Okay, so that's where it provides you the flexibility. If let's say you want to show it as a video, then after that, we just record the narration, or you want to put music also can. Okay, now, one more thing that I wanted to showcase is this view mode. Now, I just want to showcase under mouse, there is mouse tools format as well, that you are able to change whether none, single click or double click. And you are able to change the mouse cursors as well. So let's say for this, I'm actually clicking here. This one is an arrow. So right now, because it's clicking to enter, so definitely is an I. Okay, so this one you can change the mouse cursor even. Now, straight pointer path, reduce speed before click, show click effects. Click effects, that means the red circle. Okay, now this part of things, okay, so straight pointer path, that means it's straight. Now reduce speed before click, that means sometimes it's a long area that your mouse cursor is at one corner to reach to another corner. It goes fast, then it slows down. This is what it means. Okay, now enter from, sometimes your mouse is actually entering from where. Okay, so like this, it enters from where again? Yeah, something like this. Okay, I believe this one also has enter from. Okay, now for the first slide, where does your mouse starts? Okay, whether enter from the left corner or at the center. Now for our case, whenever we create screen recording, we definitely start from the center for the mouse. We don't actually go from the left. Okay, so because the beginning of the screen recording, definitely an introduction of the screen recording, what this clip is and what's the result that we get. Then once you need to start, then we click start, then only it begins the screen recording. That's where the mouse is at the center. Okay, so it's easier for us to actually navigate. Yeah, so that is one thing that I wanted to show. Yeah, mouse clicks is for simulation only. Okay, yeah.
I just want to know, if I want to do the screen recording, is it a must to do all the three view scene, try scene, and test scene?
No, not necessarily. Sometimes you just want to showcase or train the people. You do not want them to practice. You do not want to evaluate them. So you can just record as a video. Okay, you can choose to record as a video. Now, if you record as a video, rehearse first. Rehearse, that means you need to prepare what content to be put in, okay, and what steps to be done as well. Okay, so all those things you need to rehearse first. For step-by-step modes, meaning that after you have done this, then after that you want to do certain changes. So that is allowing you to do. So it's up to you whether you want to create a try mode or a test mode. Okay. Any other questions? None. Okay. So can we proceed to the next topic, which is branch scenario? Put a thumbs up if we can proceed to the next one. Okay, Shaira says can. Okay, good. Casey? Can also. Okay, let's proceed. Let's click save. Now, branch scenario, I want you to close this file, open another file. Okay, now open which file? That means let me just go through. Now, under session 5, there is customer service scenario. Open that file. Okay, under session 5, open this customer scenario. Okay, and as well as under source, you need to open this PowerPoint as well. Customer service storyboard. Okay, so two things that you need to open while I showcase this. Okay. Now, branch scenario itself, you will have a scenario or a context. Okay, that means the background story. Okay, or issues happening inside your company itself. Okay, what are the issues? It may be various. Okay, so you need to also know what are the scenarios so that your learners will be able to apply the lessons better. Okay, so that they won't repeat those kind of mistakes as well. Okay, and scenario definitely is one context or situation, and plus branch scenarios also want you to create challenges for you. Okay, challenges for the learners. What are the impacts? What are the lessons learned? Or what are the issues that is not working for your organization? Okay, those are the main challenges. And then you pass them certain choices. Okay, pass the learners certain choices, they will select. Okay, and then whatever consequences, which is your feedback. Okay, now the choices meant is that there may not be a right answer. Okay, there may not be a right or wrong answer. All may be correct, but which one is the best answer to you? You make the decision. Okay, so this is very good in actually creating more ideas from the learner's perspective. Okay, so now for branch scenarios, definitely you need to make use of Bloom's taxonomy. So in the past, like more than 8 years ago, okay, we were creating the e-learning up to understanding level or moving into applying level only, based on the learner's understanding, based on the application of the learners based on learning as well. But for branch scenarios, you can also create the lessons up to creating level, creating of ideas, creating of new ways of doing it. Okay, so that they won't repeat the mistakes. Okay, so all these things is definitely useful for all of you all. Okay, now basically for branch scenario, you need to also create a simulation map. Okay, you need to draw out, okay, like a data flow diagram or system flow diagram. You can make use of that or just make use of a PowerPoint to create. Okay, your choice. Now we have created the fix the problem. Okay, this is scene 4. Okay, scene 4, fix the problem. Okay, so this is the context. You follow the customer to his truck, and then coming down, which is your choices, coming down again, which is your consequences, and coming down, where does it flow? Okay, so all these things you need to actually draft out first before you start constructing, because now we happen to have cases that once we created the scenario, we go all the way up to construction, and then suddenly the customer say, oh, this one is invalid. Okay, they throw out the whole scenario. Okay, so please do also the simulation map first. Okay, and then proceed to review with the customer. Okay, or your subject matter experts lah. Okay, in order to get the agreement from them first before you start constructing. Now, when you start constructing, definitely certain graphics need to be in. Okay, when you do the storyboard, you can actually present certain characters or certain background that you may use. Okay, that's all. All those things is static graphics. Okay, then you start to do, you explain how the simulation map goes. Once they agree, then pass it through. Okay, then you pass it to the media designers. Okay, then they are able to enhance or create that interaction. Okay, now let's begin with this. Let's see, where is that? Yeah, this one. Okay, this is a scenario for customer service scenario. It's time to test your skills. Let's see how well you practice our customer service principle in a real life scenario. So let's click next. Now, customer encounter, this one is the context, the situation itself. So you are a sales associate for the Kaya shop. You have been with the company for 2 years now and enjoy working at the shop. You are near the end of a big Kaya sale that has produced good results, but there have also been issues with the seats not adjusting properly in the Kayas. So this is a problem. Okay, this is a challenge. Okay, seats not not adjusting properly inside the kayaks. So let's say we click next. It's Tuesday around lunchtime, always a busy time at the shop. You alternate between working the floor and the register. With a steady stream of customers, you spend most of the morning working the register. Okay, so let's click next. So a customer comes in. So a customer approaches the counter with a frustrated look on his face. He had been standing over by the display of the new kayaks, and you now only have the display model in left. Okay, when you ask, can I help you? Responds with, I sure hope so. I have a problem with my new kayak and I want a replacement. Something like that. Okay, and then I just click next. Now, how would you respond? These are the options, these are the choices that you provide to the learners. So now, when your learners say, I'm really sorry, I know we have had a problem with the seat, or the learners will say, what is the problem? Or I can order a replacement since it looks like we only have the display model left. So which one could be the answer? There's no right or wrong answer. Okay, so this is where you need to select. Let's say I select the B choice. Okay, then I click submit. Now, once you click submit, it comes on the rudder does not work properly on the kayak. Okay, then I click next again. Now, each of the choices will have different consequences. Okay, so this is where I click next. It's father and son trip that we have been planning for months. You guys told me that if I had any issues that you would take care of them. Well, I'm here telling you that I have issues with the kayak. So I click next again. How would you respond? So let's say I don't want to read anymore because this one's a long thing. So that's where I click under the first one. I click submit. Okay, so now this one we have created 4 different scenarios. The first one that you need is listen first to the customer. What is the problem? Okay. Second scene, you start to apologize. Third scene, you try to fix the problem. Okay. Once it's fixed, you need to follow up with the customer. So there are 4 different scenarios here. Okay. Now let's take a look under the PowerPoint. Let's say, did I launch?
Sorry, what are the slides you asked to open just now?
Source customer service scenario.
Under source.
Session 5.
Oh, okay. All right, got it. Thank you.
Okay, and plus also customer service scenario storyline file. Now, for
Alina,
this,
sorry.
yeah.
Sorry to cut you. So file and then import. Is it PowerPoint or storyline?
Not import. I just want you all to open.
Okay,
Alina,
okay.
Alina, sorry, I found the customer service. Another one is under which one? Session
Outside
5? Under
session 5 customer service scenario starter.
customer service starter. Source customer. I don't see that.
Go out to session 5 folder.
Oh, okay. Sorry, got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this one, I just want you all to open, not import. Okay. Now this one is your storyboard that we have created. So now scene 1, that means it's scenario 1. That means this one is a context, then it continues to listen. Okay, this one is a PowerPoint. Then after that, this one is a listen scenario. Okay, so now the first red, yellow, green is the choices. Okay, so now for if let's say the learners chooses the first option, the red one, option A, then consequence A will appear. If they choose option B, consequence B will appear. Each and every consequence have different point system as well, 2, 10, and 4. Okay, then everything goes through to the next challenge, which is apologize scene. So this is the apologize scene, which is scenario 3. Okay, so look at the arrows for the path that it goes on. Okay, so once it goes on to fix the problem, which is over here, okay, so the path which is slightly different. Okay, for option C, under fix a problem, it goes on, he responds, no, I can't come back tomorrow, you can keep this piece of crap. Tell your boss, I will see him in small claims court. Okay, then the customer drives off, leaving you holding the kayak. Okay, so this one, after this, it will restart the course. Okay, if you select A and B option, okay, it will move on to follow up scene. Okay, look at the arrows, how it flows. Okay, now let's start to actually do this scenario. Okay, now we have done for you even the introduction scene, listen scene, as well as apologize scene. Okay, so now the result slides will actually show you the point system that it gathers. Let me just put this out. Result slides that it will actually show you the points. Okay, now story view. Now fix the problem, that's what we need to fix. Okay, and follow up as well. Okay, now let's try to do it together for fix a problem. I'll leave for follow up for you all to do. Okay, so now let's fix the problem. The first slide under fix a problem. Okay, now you follow the customer to his truck and help him offload the kayak. He shows you what the problem is. You have seen this before in other kayaks. The rudder kit was not assembled properly. It was a fairly easy fix, but will take a little more time and effort. A glance back shows the store is full of customers. Okay, and the choices is also here. Okay, so I see the problem. We can fix that for you quickly. I can see the problem. I will need to reassemble the rudder. Let me fix it quickly and give you some free dry bags. We can fix that for you, but I'm not sure we can do it today. Can you come back tomorrow? So these are the options given. Okay, check what elements you have. So this one is a challenge, 4.1, 4.2, which is the choices, and you also have 4.3, consequence A, consequence B, consequence C, and also drive off, where the customer drives off. Okay, so right now, let's go back to choices, okay, which is this slide. Now, one thing that you need to know, this one is question-based. Okay, so firstly, I need to convert into a free-form template. So let's say I go into insert, convert to free-form. Okay, then after that I click pick one. Okay, so this one you have done it, okay, yesterday. So that's where I can proceed, click OK. Now once it's converted, okay, so basically I can put my choices there. Choice A, choice B, choice C. Okay, now each and every choices have different point system as well. So take a look under the storyboard. Okay, under fix a problem, 6, 10, 0. Okay, so that means I need to actually do the score by choices. So I need to change the upper level into choice. Then you can put in 6, 10, 0. Okay, so I'll wait for here, try to do this. Okay, give you 2 minutes. Let's say we'll begin in 11:56 or 11:57 like that.
Elena, we just have to do what you just did, right?
Yes.
Anything else need to be done? Yeah,
No.
okay. Okay.
Okay. Now I believe all of you all are done already. Okay. Now you do not need to select which one is the correct answer. Okay. So yeah. So that's all. Now in order to create for the call the branching, this one, the consequence. Okay. So now, firstly, I want you all to put in the feedback by choice first. Where to change, which is the upper side. Okay, the drop down, feedback by choice. Okay, then you click under more. Okay, then branch to the following slide. Now, once you click under the drop down, select the right slide. This one is under listen scene, apologize scene. So search something which is under fix the problem. Okay, then 4.3. Okay, now the icon, once you have selected branch to the different slide, it will be something like this. Okay, do for the rest as well. Select the right slide. This one is 4.5. Okay. Now, once you have done that, okay, then after which I go back to story view. It will change into a tree branch. Okay, so this is how it branches. Now, the arrows also will go in correctly. Okay, so let me expand it first. Okay, so the point system is that is 6 for the first option, second option is 10, the third option is 0. Okay, so this one, now sometimes it organizes it as A on the right, B middle, and C on the left. So it's not accordingly sometimes. Okay, so it's fine as long as it branches correctly. Okay, now you check on the arrows first. Now for this, it goes, once I click next, if I selected the A option, consequence A will appear. Then once I select next, it comes to consequence B. Okay, how do I know it? Because of this arrow. Okay, now this arrow means that I need to change my trigger. Okay, how do I change? I can just select this slide and then change, jump to slide to another slide, which is the next scene. So that means under follow up, I can go to 5.1 slide. Okay, now, so this one, 5.1, it will come down here. So if I click under the scene, I got this arrow already. Once I click under this slide, you can see the arrow coming down. It's not going to the side anymore. Okay, so this one, you need to depend on the storyboard here. Check the flows. So for B option, also it goes into the next challenge, which is follow up. For the C option, it goes into the slide and then goes into restart course. Start to do that.
Alina, sorry, I got lost at that point 4.3. There was an arrow going to 4.4, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What are we supposed to do? How to branch it down to follow up scene?
Change the trigger.
Oh, change the trigger. Jump to slide.
Which slide do you want to jump? Which is 5.1.
Ah, okay. That's all.
Yes.
But I don't see the arrow appearing.
You click under the slide, you click outside, you click the slide again.
Outside. Oh, okay. Got
Okay.
it.
Yeah. Check under the storyboards, how the flow goes, and then you can change based on the triggers. Okay. Now, for drive off, definitely the trigger is slightly different that I jump to 1.1 slide because it says under the storyboard there, it says restart course. Okay, so it jumps back. Okay. Now, let's move on to the next one. Sorry. Okay, follow up scene. Okay. Now, follow up scene, definitely you got challenge, choices, which is totally empty. It's up to you to put. Okay, consequence A, consequence B is totally empty as well. Consequence C as well is empty. Resolution is also empty. So it's up to you to create certain text boxes there. Okay, then you can start to create the triggers as well. Now, for this, let me split into half of the screen. Okay, try to do this, attempt to do this. I pass you some time. 15 minutes, I hope it's fine, up to 12:15. okay, in order to do this, okay. So by 12:15, I will start by recapping the lessons. Yeah. Okay. So that it's easier for me to copy that way.
Alina, sorry, I have a question. I copied all the text, and after I copy, I'm supposed to do what next?
Paste it inside the slide.
Oh, I done all that. Paste,
Yeah.
copy, paste, everything done. How am I supposed to connect the
Choices, have you done the choices?
choices?
Insert, convert to freeform. Have you done that?
Oh, no. Oh, I think I missed it. Insert.
Insert,
Okay.
convert to freeform.
Insert, convert to freeform.
Right
Oh, and then
below.
pick one. And then I need to
Yes.
pick one. Oh, okay,
Yes.
got it.
Then put in
Thanks,
the
thanks.
points, then do the branching scenario.
All right, thanks.
So now, after you have done the follow-up, check under the result slides. Okay, result slides itself, under result tools design, go under quiz setting. You need to check all this in order to track the scoring itself. Then you preview as an entire project. You double check under with the storyboard itself whether the options actually come out correctly or the consequence. Yeah. Okay, whether anyone has any challenges. Okay, so how are you all doing? Have you all finished? If you have finished testing it, you can put a thumbs up, see whether the result slides will come out with a point system and whether everything flows through correctly. So you can check on that. Okay, once you finish, you can put a thumbs up. Thank you.
Dina call a friend. I forgot how to branch.
Where are you at?
So sorry.
Where are you at?
I'm done. Yeah, I'm done with um transferring the text
Okay.
and converting it to freeform. It's just branching it now.
Ah, so that means you are here lah. Have you selected the choices?
Done.
Insert, convert to freeform.
Okay.
Yeah, insert the
Okay.
choices. Then you change
I should
score by
go to
choice.
more.
Yeah. Then
Yeah.
feedback by choice as well. Then you can branch and put in the points accordingly. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I know it from here. Thank you.
Okay. Shaira, how have you done? Have you completed?
Yes, testing it. So fine.
Ah, okay. Sorry?
It's fine.
Okay. Result slides also come out accordingly?
Still testing.
Ah, okay. Okay, 12:15 already. I hope you all have tested. Okay, check whether the result slides is having the points. If not, okay, your points wouldn't appear. So how to check that? That means you can go inside result slides, go under result tools design, then quiz settings right below. Okay, then make a check for all the result slides in order to check it. Then passing score, which is 75 marks. Okay, then you click OK, then test it one more round. Okay, now for this is very good in a sense that it can create more more ideas, more ways, more methods in approaching certain problems. So right now we are trying to capture the experience that learners go through. So scenarios is a good way to actually do that. So scenarios can go with the first option. Okay, first option is that you can put in questions. Okay, one question can lead to another question. Okay, then after that, the second option is that some scenarios do not have any questions. You just have what are the factors that appears to impact for the issues that happen. Then what are the lessons learned? Okay, so this one can be another option as well. Now, another way of doing scenario is that you can put in as a quizzes, okay, quizzes side, so that you can have the question bank just now that I mentioned, a short scenario, okay, then put in the choices, then put in the feedback. Okay, these are the things that normally we do lah, depending on customers' requirements and customers' expectations as well. Okay, so now once you're done, I want you to click save. You can venture into this later. Okay, now of course for this, definitely you can go through step by step from the branch scenario simulations as well from the reference guides. Okay, all these steps which is here. Okay, so you can see this. Okay, so homework exercise which is follow up. Okay, right now you do not have any homework already. Okay, so the homework here, that is also branch scenarios, if not mistaken, then the simulation side. Okay, and plus you can see the outcome, optional challenges. There are some optional challenges as well. Then I will push the 360 images to this afternoon itself, because we do not have much time for that. Okay, so right now, let me just go through some of the demos. Okay, now demo samples, in a sense, this one is very interesting. Okay, let me mute it first. Your manager, Narigis, just left an important meeting with the VP of sales. Now Narigis needs your help getting some answers for the VP. Time is of the essence, so he urgently texts you, even though you're still on your way to the office. Read the incoming messages from Narigis. Think carefully about how to respond to each. Type your reply in the text field and click send. Now, once you click next, what would you expect? Okay, what would be the screenshot? Okay, with the background scene itself. Okay, so because it says type your reply in the text field and click send, so whether it's a WhatsApp message, whether it's a messages SMS view, or whether it's a Facebook Messenger, or whether it's an email. Okay, so these are some of the expectations. So now most of it, once I click next, your phone will appear. Okay, so this one we just capture as a phone, then this one we self-do. Now all these are variables. Okay, now are you aware of this very important thing the boss asks you? Okay, so type your response here and then click send. So what would be your answer? Tell me. Are you aware of this very important thing? What will you put? Sadara?
Yes, I am.
Yes. Okay. Now, yes. Okay. So once you click send, what happens? It comes out a response. Why didn't you let me know about it? Okay. Now, if you type no, what will happen then? A different response will come out. This is part of branching scenario. Okay. When you type yes, certain slides will go in. When you type others, certain slides will go in as well. So these are the consequence and answering. Okay, so this is very engaging in the sense that sometimes it trains you how to do the customer service. Okay, how to attend to certain problems. So sometimes you need to also engage your mindset in a sense to actually assume what the learners will enter 90% of the time. Okay, so this is, let's say, why didn't you let me know about it? What will you say? What would be your answer? Do tell. Anyone? Sadara?
Me again.
Yeah, because you are the one that switch on your mic.
I say, why didn't you let me know about that?
You ask the boss back.
No.
Yeah.
I just read. I say, I thought you know about that, but it's this supposed to be the short one, right?
Yeah, a short message.
Short message. Say, I have no idea.
Okay, so I just put okay, no idea. Something like that, as you said. Okay, now once you click send, what will be the message then? We need to have a talk. Be in my office in 30 minutes. Okay, so this is very engaging in a sense that sometimes you put certain responses, different outcomes will appear. Now, this particular sample is also inside your resources folder already. So try to see how it does. Okay, now next. So this one is one of the sample. Now this one is also quizzes. Okay, so this one is called Hiccup. Okay, please choose your avatar. I like the crab. Okay, so let's put in the name and I confirm. So this is Mia, the crab. Okay, now thanks EL. During the quiz, you'll be asked 10 questions with a maximum of 60 seconds to answer for each one. So let's say I continue. I do not want to go through the tutorial. Before each question, pop a bubble to review how many points this question is worth. Try it now. So let's say I select the middle one, which is 17 points, 60 seconds. Okay, each more earn more points by reducing the answer time. 30 seconds will double your points. 20 seconds will treble them. Try it now. Okay, so I want 20 seconds. Okay, for every question you get wrong, Hiccup will receive the points. Okay, so let's start quiz. Pop a bubble to reveal how many points this question is worth. So 14 points. Then this one, we want 20 seconds. Where is the question? Yeah, so I just select this. And this one reduce, this one, oh, Hiccup got the point. Okay, now this one makes use of a lot of variables. Why? Variables to keep track of your points, variables to select how many seconds. Okay, so then how to reference it up and how to plus the points or minus the points as well. So this is quite interesting. Okay, you can change the graphics to be more corporate look. Okay, instead of using the fish and crab. Okay, so all these things, it's part of your findings as well, your exploration on whether you can make use of this practice. Okay, now another one that is very challenging is self. Let's go. Get it right, 5 points. Get it wrong, 0 points. I'm ready. Now, how the movement of this is done. The color keep changing. We do it in states. Every second, we change to certain states. Okay, then after that, let's click next. Okay, now let's say if I click correct, points will be given. The stars will go up. So that's how I achieve the points. And then after that, I change the state to a happy face, to a smiling face. So if you like this, you can take it. It is free. Okay. So this sample itself, I'm not sure who is using it, but we have not used this. Okay. So let's say I click next. So let's do an incorrect question. Okay. So then you click next again. That's correct. Yeah, things like that, it will add on the marks. Okay, so all these things is variables. Okay, now another part of things, which is all the 360 images, which I'll leave for this afternoon lah. Okay, these are also 360 images, if not mistaken. Yes, this is 360 images, this one also, and this one as well. Okay, so right now is a good time to take a break for lunch. Okay, so today we will start with 2 o'clock local time. Okay, local time, which is 2 o'clock. Then for Cambodia, you can start with 1 o'clock. If you got questions for me, you can join in slightly earlier, which I will switch on by 1:45 local time. Okay, and for 12:45 for Cambodia time. Okay, so have a good lunch. Okay, so prepare for the later session, okay, because the later session I'll brief more in a sense on the LMS 360 images that you have time to actually create. Okay, we will explore together, and plus I will also explain what are the best cameras out there, which is the site that you can depend on to search for 360 images. Okay, so all these things we can actually provide, and plus under the player as well. Player side, how to incorporate your branding guidelines into the player. Okay, so this is this afternoon session. So any questions coming from the floor before we end this session? None. Okay, that's great. Okay, so thank you for this session. Let's break now. Okay, for lunch. Hope you all have a good lunch. Thank you. Casey?
Alina, I'm not sure
Yeah.
if we're supposed to take a class picture.
No need. We can take this
Okay, okay.
afternoon. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Alina, the others can go, but I have a question.
Yeah. Yeah. Can go ahead. I think you can go ahead with your question while waiting for the rest, or the rest want to stay on with your question also can. Yeah. Unless it's a personal question.
No, it's not. So I tried to preview the previous do you call this activity,
Yeah.
and then when I launched it, I cannot seem to the next button is disabled.
So have you actually Where is that? This one. The next button under which slide?
The follow-up scene.
Follow-up scene. Next button is always there. You make sure that all of it is checked.
Yeah, it's already, I already ticked the boxes.
Okay. But when you go into the choices, there's no next button. Then when you click under consequence B, consequence A, consequence C, all this has next button.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So-
also have the previous button.
So meaning that sometimes you may have checked on it. Can you share your screen? Just let me have a look.
Sure. Hold on. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
I'm bothered.
No. Yeah, it's okay.
Here. Hold on. Me. Should I preview it?
Entire project, preview entire project. Yeah.
Check. My struggle earlier is it takes time to render.
It's quite fast, ma. Why you say take time? Now, next.
Next.
Right now,
Oops.
you need to select a choice before you submit. Yeah.
No, okay. Submit.
Yeah. Next.
Next. Example. Submit. Next. Submit. Change. Next.
Okay.
Submit. Next.
Oh, you linked to the wrong slide. The results didn't come out. Close
I don't
preview.
have the results yet.
Yeah, go to the story view because there's one thing that you miss out. Consequent follow-up scene. Okay. For 5.4 slide, can you click under 5.4? Okay.
This one.
Yeah, it goes to resolution also. Okay. Let me check the storyboard. Yeah. So all of this will go to resolution. Now the resolution slide
should
just
go
click
to
on
the
it.
result.
Yeah. Then resolution slide supposed to go to result
The result.
slide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
I will
you change the
create a
trigger.
result.
You
Okay,
change the trigger.
But here, when I only click this slide, it doesn't go to the next. Is it because I have to like start at the beginning?
Because you only preview one slide.
So I have to preview the entire project.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, got it.
Okay. So basically you can close the preview. And then after that, for resolution, the trigger, you just change the trigger to call for the, click under resolution
Result.
5.6 slide. Yeah, link it to the result slide.
So
Jump
I have to
slide.
create another.
No. Result slide is already in. You just link it. Jump to slide, the trigger there. Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Then under result slide, can you double click? Then go above the ribbon, result tools design. Okay, quiz settings at the right, the last option. Okay, this is where you need to click. Yeah, you need to select all the results, the points to be captured. Yeah, so that it can show the results itself. Yeah. If it is not checked, definitely the points that you gather for different options that you select, the different choices, it won't be captured. Yeah.
Okay, and then I can only select like selected scenes, right? and that
Yeah.
depends on me. Okay. If I want to
Yes.
generate copy. Thank you so much, Alina.
Okay, no
Happy
problem.
lunch.
Thank you. Have a good lunch. Okay, so Kuntia and Birek as well. Okay, so see you at 2 p.m. later.
See you later.